All right, good evening. I'll call to order the Wednesday, May 14th, 2025 Township of Hampton Council Agenda Meeting. We'll start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Blackburn?
Present.
Ms. Fritsch?
Present.
Mr. Midgley?
Present.
Mr. Sholey?
Present.
Dr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Speakman?
Present.
All right, administration, please.
Yes, there's only one issue before us. Eric Schmidt from Shaler Hampton EMS had brought to our attention that next week is EMS week nationally. And then he subsequently sent me a proclamation by our neighbor to the south, Shaler Township. So not to be outdone, he asked that we issue a similar proclamation. So I'll read it very quickly. Whereas emergency medical response is a vital public service, and whereas Shaler Hampton EMS teams provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Hampton Township and neighboring communities. Whereas the members of Shaler Hampton EMS engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance and maintain their life-saving skills. Whereas access to quality emergency care drastically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas Hampton Township Council desires to recognize the value and accomplishments of emergency medical services in our community, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Hampton Township Council does hereby proclaim May 18th to the 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week in Hampton Township. Council members further encourage residents and businesses of our community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities in honor of the EMS profession and the essential service it provides. There's no action required by council of this. It is simply a proclamation. So I have signed it, and if you would like to sign it, I'll give it to Eric, and he'll be a happy camper. That's all she wrote.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else for administration?
Nothing.
Very
Right.
dumb question. Is
Yes.
it the same week in Shaler? Did you say
Yes,
that?
it is.
It's the
He
same.
sent me
Okay.
verbatim I don't
Just
tell
curious.
don't tell anyone out there, but I plagiarized their proclamation pretty substantially.
All right. Public safety?
I have nothing.
Excuse me, community services.
Yeah. The Commonwealth Financing Authority recently opened the Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program. It funds grants of up to $250,000 for park improvement projects and various other sort of greenway and trail initiatives. Last year, if you remember, we attempted through this program to pursue funding for lights at Meadow Field. If I had known the condition of the fields at the lights at McCully 2 and 3, I may have come to you at that time with a different recommendation. We're not going to abandon the Meadowfield project. There's another grant program that opens in the fall. But this year for this grant program, we've had a lot of issues. I know JR has been keeping me abreast of them as of late with Meadowfield. The condition of lights, over the past 3 years, including this year, we'll have replaced 70 bulbs at those fields. The JR has expressed concern, the age of the ballast as well. It's similar to other sort of these sodium light ballasts where there's a concern that over time you're not going to be able to replace them because they aren't making them anymore. Fields 2 and 3 are the ones most heavily utilized by HAA. That was what Josh DeMasi had brought that to my attention. He's the outgoing president of HAA. What we're proposing is to pursue a grant of $250,000 for this program to serve as a match for an additional $130,000 that we would contribute. So it's a $380,000 project to upgrade not only the lights but also the control systems and move to like a smartphone app-based control, which would be an immense improvement over our current controls. So that's just seeking authorization to submit that grant application.
So if it's not funded, is there a backup plan for how to address the lights?
At this point, we have to look at a full replacement. We would each of those fields is $190,000 a piece. I think you would probably do a much more incremental approach where you did one field at a time versus if you're able to get this grant, you could do both fields. Field 1 is much bigger. It's more costly. It's north of $250,000. And again, given the fact that HAA's primary use is on fields 2 and 3, I'm not saying that field 1 isn't an issue as well. We wanted to try to at least address their concerns first.
One other question, your
Go
memo
ahead.
said that they took some storm damage. I
Yes.
suppose we're going to get any insurance monies to help.
We are actually submitting a claim through insurance for all of the storm damage, the backstop. There was a damage to the backstop at Field 2. There was damage to the outfield fence at Field 3, I think. Yeah, we are submitting a lot of, in addition to the power situation with the police department, we're going to be submitting a sizable insurance claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are the lights on McCully?
What, 15, 20 years at least?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah. So,
And I know the bulbs are really expensive and
yeah,
go through many.
yeah.
I want to say it's 30
It's been a long time.
when those fields were done.
So it's
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Do we have a sense of any projected savings from the lighting efficiency?
I mean, the LEDs, it's kind of a crapshoot. They say at least 15% is the low end of the savings you see. It could be higher than that. It could be in the 30% range. The lighting contractors I speak with are always hesitant to like give a firm number because they don't want us coming back and saying you said 40%. It was like 25, but.
That's just usage and doesn't include, the cost of bulb replacement, or
That's
the
just
whole
you.
thing?
That's purely electrical. Purely
Yeah,
electrical.
okay.
The bulbs are going to last a heck of a lot. I mean, the sodium lights we have now just aren't lasting very long at all. Honestly, you probably get a number of years, at least 3 to 4 out of the new LEDs.
Definitely some
And-
efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And less light pollution as well, if that's another kind of benefit that you do see from those lights.
And the scoreboard that's like sideways, that's included in the insurance claim? Yes, no.
Yeah, I'll defer to.
The steel beams actually bent.
Oh, whoa.
It wasn't the ground where they're bent, it's the
Wow.
steel beams actually bent during that storm. Our crews are going to try to heat them, to try to bring it back up. So we haven't tested the electricity or anything like that, so we haven't.
So that's field 1, right? Field 1's scoreboard's the one that went?
Yeah.
Scoreboard, is that field 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all 3 of them have it, but I think field 1 is the one that
That's
bent.
the one.
So the school
Yes.
put those in
Yes.
voluntarily without telling anybody, including the township or the HAA, back in the day, right?
No, and I was looking up,
Yeah.
I was researching that. Apparently in 2019, there was a memo from then Community Services Director that the school district had offered to install them and maintain them. So the
Isn't this
current
part of-
HAA agreement says that the township, so currently looking into that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, because I think that was, maybe Chris forgot, like, that's what, I think the agreement says that because that was our understanding.
The HAA is to run them, but the township is to maintain them.
But the,
original was the school district that offered to pay for them.
right,
And maintain them.
right. So why doesn't the school district then submit this claim?
And that's what we are currently trying to look into
Okay.
and see where
Yeah.
it changed.
Yeah. Because I don't even think that scoreboard 1 even works. It doesn't work.
I'm
Like, it
still
doesn't
waiting
work
for
when
them
it's
to
upright.
use it.
Why would we
It's
fix it?
like, it's only been used like maybe twice. in
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
years?
Yeah. And I know they tried to use it for a boys' game recently. The school did. And they asked me, they're like, how do you get it to work? I'm like, that scoreboard is, I've never known that scoreboard to work. And I think I remember,
It's not that
well, I think there's an electrical issue there. That's somewhat, like, I believe at one point, the township had Sharer look at it and said it was a
Yes.
electrical issue.
That was within the last 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
Or something, I understand.
And obviously, nothing, yeah. I don't know, it just
We are
seems like something the school should fix.
currently investigating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say in a perfect world, we're able to just bend it back so it's straight up, and then we can say to the school district, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Or they could just build some fields, but that's besides the point.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, any other questions related to the grant application for the McCully Fields lighting project?
When would we hear back from that? Like fall?
None, yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, fall, I think if you look, it may not be until early '26. I mean, it goes anywhere from probably September to February would be the timeframe.
We're looking a year out or so, at least a year before we get LEDs. What are we doing for lighting right now? Are we able to repair and
Yes.
get some usable lighting for the field?
Yeah, we've been, JR's been working with Shear to get out there. Part of the problem is with the rain. They actually were out there last week. When they tried to set their crane to get up and replace some of the lights, it actually began to sink in the field. So we're hoping for some dry weather to come pretty soon so that they can get out there and replace the lighting. At the very least, JR has a plan to replace lighting again. We're going to do it again in the summer, in July and August, so those are much drier months. At the very least, we'll get that
Yep.
if we can't get them in the next few weeks as well.
Okay.
All right, any other questions on item A? All right, item B, please. Also.
Oh, that's
Correct.
me, yeah. The community service sidewalk, there were 2 small change orders associated with this project. There's an allotment of $100,000 within the capital improvement program for it. We previously awarded a bid to Shields in the amount of $117,179. Recognizing the fact that we had savings on other projects, the municipal building renovations had about $20,000 worth of savings, and some other smaller savings. And also the overall quality of the existing sidewalk had become a safety hazard. There are 2 change orders before you tonight. They total $3,940, which is 3.4% increase in the total project cost. The first one is paving of a foot-worn path that you've probably all seen in the garden bed near the memorial. If you go up there now, it's actually paved. It is a sidewalk. The second change order, there was not, when they were investigating specifically the sidewalk around the main entrance, because there's been heaving there in the past and we've had to close it during winter months, what they discovered was there was not an expansion joint between the footer and the sidewalk there. Shields was forced to dig out around the footer so they could install an expansion joint for the new sidewalk, and between that and the rock that they put in there, the base, we're pretty certain that we're never going to have to see another closing of the main entrance during winter months. But so the change order is, again, a little less than $4,000. Just given the improvement that you've seen from that project, I think it's really well worth it. So that's all I got.
All right, anyone have any questions? All right,
That's it.
item C. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, this evening, I have on the North Pioneer Road addition request. Richland Township recently approached us. They recently awarded bids to Shields Asphalt Paving for their paving program, and they are paving this year North Pioneer Road in Richland, and they asked if we would like to piggyback their program from West Hardee's Road to the township line on the way to Shop and Save. The total in the letter for Hampton Township's portion is $33,788. That roadway is in pretty poor condition, and we would recommend that we pursue that paving along with Richland Township. It's always better to pave a road in its entirety. So I will have this on the regular meeting for authorization to pursue that.
Okay, just a quick question. You said that leaves approximately $78,000 for engineering costs and other incidentals. You feel
Yes.
that's sufficient?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I think in the last couple of years, it's been between 60 and 70,000 for engineering, 60. We should be fine, and in our contract, it already calls for soft spot repairs, and if we don't do them, then they'll reduce that cost on the bills, and right now, there haven't been that many at all for the first part of our paving program, so we should be fine with that as well.
All right.
Knock on wood, we've not seen any increase or spike in liquid fuels costs as
Correct.
well, so that's actually really helpful.
All right. Anyone else have questions about this item?
How long?
So just
Go ahead, Alfie.
real quick on the cost, is this about in line if we were to do it ourselves, it would cost, or is this less or more, or just?
It is, I think they're doing a 3-inch mill where we are doing 2-inch mill right now. So it is a little bit more, but in the past, we've done 3-inch mills on our roads. So it is in line.
Okay.
How long is the roadway that we're paving in Hampton?
My apologies.
About a quarter of a mile, something like that. I'm trying to picture it.
Yeah.
Roughly.
It's not that far.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
even that
1,500
far.
square feet or something. Like
So
it's not even a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think it's already done, isn't it?
Milled. It's milled. Yes, they've already started. You know, we said go ahead. We've spoken with finance and the controller, so this is kind of like a.
Yeah. And it's worked out well. The thing I would say
Kind
too, Rich, we were paving Devaney, and there's a portion of
Yes.
Devaney that goes into Richland, and Richland agreed to pick up that cost, which is about $27,000 to pave the road through their community as well. So this is actually like, it's worked out pretty well between the
Yes,
two
for
communities
sure.
to get those two roads fully paved.
We can put it back if you like.
Yeah.
Put it back if you want.
are we voting on putting it back?
Yes, absolutely.
Joking.
I'll try to figure that one out.
Yeah.
All right, no other questions? All right, item D,
Sorry, Dan.
please.
Okay, next item is the Kraus Run Stream Bank Restoration Project as part of the capital improvement projects in our Stormwater Management Fund. This is a stream bank restoration along Kraus Run, adjacent to Grouse Run Road. And I'm asking for authorization to advertise for bids for this project with possible award at council's June meeting.
Any questions? All right, anything else for community services?
I do. I have one more item, if that's okay.
Of course.
Since the storm, we've had 3 public works crews out picking up as much debris as possible. In the 40 years that I've been here, other than the floods back in the 80s, like I have never seen this much debris along roadways in our foreman. Like it's just, there is a lot. So we thank the residents for their patience and the time that it's taking us to get all of the debris. And I want to thank, and I'm sure on behalf of our Public Works Department, thanks those residents who've been offering them water and cookies. And I want to give a special thanks today because I'm going to get emotional. The Central Elementary students brought up some cards that they made for our Public Works Department. So very appreciative for what they did. Yeah, I went through them today and I'll give them to them tomorrow. So I want to thank them and everybody who has patience and just very kind and giving. So thank you very much.
Please express our gratitude to the crews for everything that they
I
are
will.
doing. I mean, the damage was unprecedented.
Yes, just driving around and seeing it all. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, environmental services, please.
Thank you, Madam President. The first item we have is requesting approval for a change order from Mealy Mealy for increased fill at the treatment plant. This will be change order number 15 in the amount of $85,765.48. This began late last fall when there was they recognized that the fill material that they would need for the secondary clarifiers, the old and the newer of the two, were going to need specialized fill, and it's simply a lot of additional material that was required. So that's what this change order is for.
All right, does anyone have any questions?
Just the only point, just real fast, with the memo I put out on this, in addition to this change order, there are 2 other costs that I had mentioned in there. One of which will probably be coming to council next month. It's furniture for the new treatment plant. And, you know, Jim and his guys are reusing as much existing furniture as they can. They've gone to Tri-State Office Furniture, which is CoStar's contractor. They're looking at purchasing used furniture as well. There will be some areas where they need new furniture, though. We don't anticipate this cost exceeding $25,000. The point I would make to you, though, is I believe what Tri-State told us, they can hold the cost for 24 hours.
24 hours.
So this may be one where, and we'll keep you all in the loop, but we may need to issue the purchase order this month and then come to council for ratification of that next month, since it's coming out of the funding it is. So, sorry, I know that was more money and that really set that off. So, yeah. But
Any questions?
And you said 24 hours?
24
Is
hours.
that because of
That-
tariffs? And their
It's-
impact on tariffs? That's
It's
short.
twofold. Actually, we have a line item for tariffs,
Yeah.
specifically on the quote. I think it was around $1,200 just in tariff fees. And also, that's basically what they told us. The reality of materials showing up at the ports and being available, it's very hit or miss. So just the reality of where we have in front of us, so.
Sorry, give me one moment to get this to stop yelling at me. All right. Anything else related to item A for environmental services? No questions? All right, item B then, please.
Item B, we're requesting authorization to advertise for bids regarding the Ferguson Road sanitary sewer repair. Last year, we did a line segment repair at the address of 2255 Ferguson Road. We added a new manhole as a part of that process near Ferguson. After that project, we quickly discovered that there was an additional problem with the sanitary main underneath Ferguson Road, and that it's a substantial sag. There's no way to repair this. It needs to be replaced. So we're looking to bid to have that project done by a contractor to excavate, replace the pipe, and replace the road to PennDOT requirements.
Yeah, do you have even a guess at what these might come in at?
I don't. Engineering threw some very loose numbers at us, but I don't know if it's valid or not at this point. We need to see the numbers.
How bad
So-
is it that you were just saying that so vaguely?
They were
Like,
they were
those
figuring.
numbers, I don't know. or is it-
They initially said around $50,000. With the paving requirements and the backfill requirements, that's what concerns me personally. I just really don't want to throw a number out there personally until we see the quotes. So it may
Fair
be
enough.
less, I don't know.
All right, any questions related to item B? Jim, anything else?
I have nothing else unless there are questions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, zoning and planning, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. Just one item tonight, and that is the next request for release of funds from the Improvement Security for the Four Seasons development. This request relates to the funds that have been set aside for the initial paving. So they have completed that, Gateway has inspected it, Gateway's recommending the approval of those funds, and we still have over $30,000 left for the final wearing surface. So I would be recommending approval of this in 2 weeks as well.
Any questions? All right, anything else for zoning and planning?
I do not.
All right, thank you. Other business?
we are less than 2 weeks from the opening of the pool. Yes.
I actually just had
Wow.
somebody ask me about that today.
Yes.
It does not, and maybe it should stop raining and, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, and just other notes, we do have Recycle-Rama coming up, the Depreciation Lands Museum Friendship Day, the Memorial Day event at the Veterans War Memorial, excuse me, and then, of course, the Farmers Market is opening in less than a month.
Is Hal English organizing the Memorial Day again?
Yes.
That would be
And-
my assumption.
And they'll actually be debuting a new plaque at the War Memorial as well.
Okay.
It's sitting in JR's office at the moment.
Nice.
All right, anything else for other business?
None.
Anyone else have anything for other business? All right, I will adjourn this
Go.
evening's meeting. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
It wasn't 19 minutes,
nice.
but